Out of all the personal tragedies that I've suffered in my life, nothing breaks my heart more than what I'm about to talk about today. Today, I talk about why I no longer support the WWE. Why I can't in good conscience support this morally reprehensible company any longer. It's been a long, slow bleed out, but it's finally time to say goodbye to what once was my most treasured thing in the entire world. That's not to say I don't love professional wrestling, because professional wrestling is just one of those art forms that I respect that will never go away, okay? I love what the guys and gals do out there in the ring, for sure, 100%. What I don't love is the WWE in every single way. Structurally, functionally, everything about them is not the WWE or the WWF as I knew it when I first came into the product that it once was. It is a shell of its former self. It is doing the saddest shit of all time, and today I just gotta get it off my chest, okay? So you gotta forgive me. Today, WWE is on the chopping block. It's happening, ladies. It's finally time to make WWE an official enemy of the channel, but with good reason, with a lot of good reason, actually. And I'm not gonna go all the way back to 2013 and catalog every single incident. I'm just gonna cover the last year and a half. Everything that happened in the last year and a half bit is what made me hate this company so much. I have to be against this company. I am opposed to everything they're doing. I have to condemn them to hell. I can't just not like it. I just can't not support it. I gotta go one step further than that. I have to condemn it. I have to send it to the shadow realm, or at least to my rogues gallery. Okay? So before we do, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Dan Frampton, all one word, the O's a zero, and I'm the internet's most ruthless gatekeeper. And mostly, I talk about punk rock, underground music. Sometimes we dabble in the death metal and the regular metal, all that sort of stuff. And I don't really talk about the music, so to speak. What I talk about is the drama and the communities and the disputes and the confrontations that go on within those communities, because it is a plentiful endeavor out there and nobody's really covering it the way that I do. So I figured I might as well make a standard YouTube drama channel, but centered around the underground music world. Why not do that? It hasn't really worked out so well for me, but it does pay the bills, and I'm so happy that you're here. So since you're here, hit the like, press subscribe, and I don't know, there might be hype points. Send those to me if you got them. But we're going to be talking about the WWE and why it fucking sucks now. What does the second W even stand for these days? It's definitely not wrestling, not by a long shot. Okay, so I have 5 or 6 different things I want to get into. And the first one being the recent baffling releases. Just amazing talent being let go for whatever reason. And it's being left kind of nebulous, but it has been reported, and I'm here to talk about these 3 particular cases that have me scratching my head and actually kind of angry. The first one being the New Day. This is not just any old tag team. This is the New Day. They are the best fucking tag team of all time. And that's in kayfabe, and that's in my heart as well, okay? New Day rules. And they just let them go. You got Xavier Woods, you got Kofi Kingston, so talented, so charismatic, so, popular. They have a huge name, right? And they're just let go. And here's the thing behind the scenes. They weren't let go. What ended up happening was last year, a little bit longer than that, they did the best heel turn that I've ever seen with this team. It was wonderful. It was pulled off like 2 kids breaking up with their parent. And it was great, and I loved every single second of it, and so did a lot of people. What I didn't love was everything that fucking happened after that. Nothing. A big old pile of nothing. Everything that just happened was week on week on week. Xavier's hat would just grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And yeah, that was a good bit, but that's all they fucking had. It wasn't anything. There was no substance, there was no story, there was no jokes, there was no heat, and there could have been so much heat. Feuds with all these other tag teams would have been great. There were tag teams, but the WWE dropped the ball with the entire tag team division. You telling me you have Johnny Gargano, you have fucking Tommaso Ciampa together. You can't do anything with them against the New Day? That doesn't make any goddamn sense. Oh, you're telling me you got the Creed brothers? You can't do anything? Oh, that's just gonna send me off on a whole other tangent, okay? The whole tag team situation over there under the WWE umbrella. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the New Day, and it's egregious. What happened behind the scenes, according to the reports, is that New Day were approached after this heel turn failed because the WWE didn't write good stuff for it. It could have been great if they just gave them the creative, but it didn't happen. So they're like, oh, heel turn failed, so you guys should take a 50% pay cut. The New Day! The New Day! 50% pay cut. Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, been in the company for like 10 years, 20 years, 15 years, long ass time, okay? But what was more egregious than that was the release of the Wyatt Six, okay? A couple years ago, the wrestling community, we lost Bray Wyatt, okay? Apparently he was just out there having a nap and he was supposed to have this chest protector on, but he forgot to wear the chest protector thing that saves his life, and what ended up happening was he lost his life. And it was so fucking tragic, especially for his family, but this guy had tons of fans. Bray Wyatt and everything that he did resonated with the audience. Bray Wyatt wasn't just another spooky character. This guy potentially was like the most creative guy to ever be in wrestling. He should have been in movies. He should have been doing horror. He could have been doing schlock and making tons of fucking money. But instead, he was there in wrestling because that's where his family was. That was what was normal for him and his kind over there in the wrestling world. But it wasn't meant to be. And after we tragically lost Bray Wyatt, WWE rehired Bray Wyatt's brother, Bo Dallas, who they weren't doing anything with back in the day anyway, but they brought him back this time as like a charity case, I guess. And they also brought back a whole bunch of other wrestlers that were tied to Bray Wyatt. I can get into all the lore and who they all were, but that's not why we're here. This was a tribute act that was built on mourning, that was built on tragedy, that was built on healing, and they didn't do anything with it. The Wyatt Six, as they became known, came into the company in the most impactful way ever. The camera just goes backstage after an episode of Raw and everybody's laid out. Poor Chad Gable looks like he has a fucking bullet wound in his head. He's down for the count. What happened here? And the camera pans around. It was these characters that we all kind of realized that were related to the Bray Wyatt thing, but now they were vicious monsters brought to life. It was incredible. So what did they do with them creatively? Absolutely fucking nothing. The most recent thing was everybody was fighting over the lantern. Come on, man. Now, the lantern was supposed to have mystical effects because of its attachment to Bray Wyatt, but the story wasn't there. Nobody was actually caring about anything they were doing with this fucking lantern on screen, or at least not selling it like it was. Yeah, it was written like shit. It was kind of performed not so great either, not gonna lie. But you mean to tell me you have all these people that are tied to Bray Wyatt, who was super, super popular, and you don't have anything creative, anything emotionally resonant you could do with them? You can't tell a story with this group? God damn, it was infuriating. And they were just all let go. All 5 of them. See you later, guys. What? What do you mean? New Day and the Wyatt Six are gone? Absolutely baffling. And then we pivot the camera a little bit over to the women's division, and we're going to talk about Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane is an insanely talented wrestler. This woman can do things that like nobody can do. She defies gravity in so many ways. And not only that, she's super fucking entertaining out there in the backstage segments. You know, her dynamics with all the wrestlers. And I mention those because she was in the middle of a story that was about to wrap up. This story had 1, maybe 2 beats left in it, and they fucking let her go. They couldn't just let her do these last 2 stories, last 2 shows, and just send her on her way. It left a really bad taste in my mouth because not only did they treat a talent really improperly, but they treated the audience improperly because this story was happening. I was invested in the story. I wanted to know what was gonna go on with Io Sky, Kairi Sane, and Asuka, and I didn't get a satisfying conclusion to any of that. Yeah, the last match that Asuka and Io had was fantastic, but it was missing Kairi. That part of the story just like wasn't there anymore. It didn't make any sense. It was the core aspect of it. It was the nucleus. And you might be saying, oh man, maybe they needed to save some money, you know? And like asking your employees to take a cut, you know, releasing some people. Unfortunately, that's the reality out there in the world of business. No, not in this case. WWE is making more money than they ever have been in the history of their company. It is disgusting. They are making billions on billions on billions and billions, and they're just treating their popular talent like this. They're just letting them go because they're not taking 50% pay cuts. Absolutely fucking egregious. Couldn't even believe it. But you know where that extra money is going since it's not going to the talent? That's right. Triple H, he got signed again for 3 or 5 more years, who fucking knows, but with a signing bonus. And also, the fucking Nick Khan guy himself, the business guy, he also got a huge fucking raise too. Of course, the suits do, but the wrestlers don't. You guys don't have a company without these wrestlers. What is going on? The priorities are not there. You don't care about the viewer experience. You don't care about your fucking talent. God damn it, dude. All these reasons alone, the New Day, the Wyatt Six, Kyrie, as separate, isolated incidences are reason enough to separate ties with this company and make them an enemy of mine. I'm freaking out, bro. It isn't even cool, not by a long shot. And if they were like doing all these money-saving measures all over here, doing this, doing that, it would be one thing, but they're also selling their tickets for more money than they've ever been worth in the history of our fucking civilization, dude. It's fucked up and they should be fucking held to the fire for it. Why aren't people more angry about this? They're just raising the prices, and then being like, oh man, why aren't we selling as many tickets? Because you keep raising the prices, bro. Families go to this thing. The grown-ups bring the kids, and the kids become fans, and they become fans for life. And then they become adults, and then they bring kids. It's generational, and they're taking that away because they want the rich people. They want the green shirt guys of the world to fucking fill up their stands. And that is fucking stupid, dude, for the long term and for the short term. You are going to be burning this fucking candle at both ends. You see how pissed off I am? Jesus Christ. And meanwhile, while I'm talking about the goddamn ads, WrestleMania couldn't have been more jam-packed with ads if it wanted to be. It was basically more ads than wrestling. That's what I mean. What does the second W stand for? Because wrestling is just not happening on these fucking shows anymore, dude. And WrestleMania is not only a premium live event, it's supposed to be the most premium live event. So why in God's name am I watching like 3, 4, 7 minutes of ads in between matches to come back to a match that's only 4 or 7 minutes long, not even as long as the fucking commercial break, and just littered with ads everywhere on the mat, everywhere on the turnbuckle, the LEDs on the barriers, everything just covered with ads. What are you doing, WWE? You money-hungry, greedy, corporate, amoral pieces of shit. I can no longer be on this ship, not by a long shot. What are you doing? And just morally, I have a problem with it, obviously, but just as a viewer of the product, as someone that just wants to sit back and enjoy the WrestleMania, enjoy the matches, I can't do that, dude. I can't do it anymore. They're making it so fucking hard. I just want to sit back, kick back, get a beverage on the go, and watch my favorite wrestlers out there performing for the biggest company ever. And I'm thinking, oh, this is so great. I've been following this guy for 15 years and he's finally earning a paycheck. This guy was out there just getting handshakes and peanuts for the longest time, and now look at him. Oh, I love to see it. And especially when they're a hometown guy that I got to see in my scene coming up. Guys like Sami Zayn, guys like Kevin Owens. God damn it, dude. That's why I watch wrestling. But seeing that kind of stuff play out, real world stories of real world people achieving their real goals, man, I love to see that shit. And they're making it impossible to enjoy it. It's like, okay, time to watch wrestling. Let's turn it on. Oh, Monday Night Raw. Oh, so everybody's just walking to the arena with their cups of coffee and their suitcases or whatever. Okay, that's cool one time, but week after week after week of the same opening? Give me a different show. Show me a different thing happening on your product. You can have a match. You can have a vicious face-to-face. I don't know. So many things. It's wrestling. You can write it to be good, so why isn't it good? It drives me fucking crazy, dude. There are so many people out there writing just whatever, fan fiction, and it's good, it's competent, and people are coming back to it. Why can't WWE, a company with billions of dollars and billions of dollars worth of TV deals and premium live events, this thing is on fucking Netflix, why aren't they competent storytellers? It drives me fucking crazy. I gotta leave this company behind. I got to. My God. And this is a long time coming. I've disagreed with the WWE for well over 10 years, 10 to 15 years. Me just being like, what are they doing? What is happening with Vince McMahon? His brain is deteriorating before our very eyes. Because this man, as detestable as he may be, back in the day, in the 80s and through the 90s, kind of a genius, kind of revolutionized everything, did it viciously and stomped on a lot of throats on his way to do it. But the man had a vision and brought it to life. And I was a kid at the time, so I couldn't have been morally opposed to it so much. And it just became the thing that I liked the most, okay? But now, after all these things that's going on, especially in the last year and a half, I can't fucking do it anymore. These commercials, man, absolutely unwatchable. And then SmackDown. Don't even get me started on SmackDown. This shit is not even programming anymore. I think they just get everybody that is like, I don't know, hired to the brand, and they just like point the camera somewhere and be like, all right, I guess that happened on screen now. What are we gonna do with it? Who fucking cares? Doesn't even matter. True. Put them out in the ring. What are they gonna do? I don't know. Run the ropes. What are you gonna do with them next week? Who fucking cares? True. True. Very fun. Why get invested in absolutely anything that they're doing? They're throwing money away left, right, and center, making more money than ever before. And now they're under this corporate umbrella called TKO that is under another bigger umbrella called Endeavor. And in that TKO sector, it's WWE and UFC. WWE making money hand over fist, just stacking stacks left, right, and center, just rinsing the fans for everything they got and enjoying every moment of it. Meanwhile, the UFC bleeding money, absolutely money all over the place. So the guys at TKO are like, okay, we gotta scramble. We gotta try to take money from the thing that's working, that we don't really respect, this carnival thing, and put it with the real athletes somehow, who they're also mistreating, by the way. But if you're a fighter or a wrestler, they were pretty much the biggest game in town. And talking about being the biggest game in town, we gotta talk about bad celebrity integration. Holy shit, this year was worse than ever. Now, normally around WrestleMania time, I'm gonna have to put up with some celebrities, right? Someone's gonna come in, someone's gonna do something. There's gonna be a Cyndi Lauper, there's gonna be a Snooki, there's gonna be a whatever, Jason Alexander. I don't think there's ever been a Jason Alexander. That would be awesome though. Man, imagine George Costanza. That might bring me back. This year's celebrity integration was so fucking bad. Let's talk about Pat McAfee first, shall we? Okay, so in these backstage promos, there's Randy Orton, right? Who's in the main event with Cody Rhodes for the world title. All right, the biggest program going on the show. And Randy Orton, the main antagonist in this whole story, is on the phone with a mystery caller. And he's talking about, I don't know, royal families this and bloodlines that, whatever, you know. So we were all expecting, oh, who's this gonna be? This is gonna be a name. This is gonna be somebody of impact, right? Who it ended up being was Pat McAfee. Not because it made sense for the story, because it didn't make sense for the story. It happened because Pat McAfee's agent, who happens to run TKO, Ari Emanuel, he was just like, we need to get Pat McAfee a spot, give him the WrestleMania main event with Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. What? He didn't even want it. We didn't want it. It didn't make any goddamn sense. Here it was, just happening on our screens. Nobody wanted this to happen. It's only happening because the billionaire's billionaire is asking the other billionaires to put this millionaire out on the screen so he can be a billionaire one day. And then Jelly Roll. God bless his soul. Actually, don't. Jelly Roll sucks so much. God, can you not bless his soul? Can you send him a curse? Where's Danhausen when you need him? Fuck Jelly Roll, am I right? God damn, that sucked so much. He was in one story, and then he was in another story, and then he was just there. Go away, Jelly Roll. I don't want you around anymore. What he did was so fucking forgettable that it's not even coming to my mind right now. But all I remember was just like, why are you here? Why Jelly Roll? Why now? Go away. And then Lil Yachty, the rapper, Lil Yachty from a couple years ago. Remember that guy? Lil Yachty. Yeah, that guy. He's involved in the wrestling now. He's out there with Trick Williams. And Trick Williams, my God, if I liked the WWE, I'd be glazing this guy right now. I'd be like, superstar of the future. This guy has got it all kind of thing. Fuck him. Fuck them all. Okay, I hate it all. But Lil Yachty's out there with Trick Williams, and they were in a feud with Sami Zayn, and they called Sami Zayn the gingerbread man one week because they thought it was funny because he's a ginger. He has red hair. Get it? Gingerbread man. The next week, you know what they did? They brought out a life-sized Shrek gingerbread man. What? No! And people are just eating it up. So now you got the gingerbread man a part of this whole thing. You mean to tell me I'm tuning in for Lil Yachty, the gingerbread man, Trick Williams, God bless his soul, and Sami Zayn, one of my favorites of all time, in one of the worst stories that I've ever seen with a literal gingerbread man. Fuck off, fuck all the way off. And it got a lot worse because they did a whole funeral for the gingerbread man. But here's the thing that they did with it. They made a whole promo package out of AI. Generative artificial intelligence was used to create visual entertainment on this television show. A TV blatantly and blazingly using AI is something that I have to condemn. I cannot stand with this company anymore. This was kind of the last straw, and that's saying something, bro. Did you read Vince McMahon's lawsuit and all the shit that he did and all the stuff that I turned a blind eye to just because I liked and respected a lot of the wrestlers on the program? God damn it, dude. But this wasn't even their first or worst use of AI. The first use, at least that I kind of saw, were in these El Grande Americano promo packages. And you're like, oh, seems like it was made with AI over here. But El Grande Americano was kind of a joke, and he was supposed to be Chad Gable trying to convince everybody that he's a legendary luchador, so that character would use AI. So it's like, okay, I could cope a little bit with that one. Then they showed fucking Dominic Mysterio holding up a title and then another title on his waist, and the one on his waist was supposed to be the AAA Mecha Championship because he had that one, but what it turned out to be, because it was used with AI, was WWE's biggest competitor in the United States, even though they're not really a competitor, AEW. Dominic Mysterio wearing a AEW championship on WWE programming. It was another Alundra Blaze moment. I couldn't believe it. Get the hell out of here. 2 cases of AI. Then that gingerbread man one that I just told you about. I'm not even going to describe it. Don't look it up. I have no respect for it. But the worst one ever happened on NXT, which is their like developmental brand, right? So Sol Ruca, she's one of their big female talent down there. Anyway, she's on her way to the main roster. And on her way to the main roster, that's great, that's good. I like that story, cool. But there was a cinematic AI piece of business that I had to sit through that was terrible. It was Sol Ruca and her friend Zarya, and they were saying goodbye to each other. And Sol Ruca kind of evaporated into the air, and the sea parted. Zarya walked through the sea. Sol Ruca's necklace falls to the ground. It doesn't even look like Sol Ruca. Absolute bullshit, bro. AI from top to bottom, used on the television program. I can't forgive this. I can't turn a blind eye to this anymore, man. I can't for the life of me. This fucking sucks. And that's just gonna lead me to 2 more points, and maybe I'll be able to get through them quickly. But first, I'm gonna talk about politics. And I'm not gonna get into it a whole lot, but I hate the way that they're so in bed with the administration. It is disgusting. The most recent example is RFK, Robert Francis Kennedy Jr., or whatever his name is. He got his daughter hired because the WWE felt politically compelled to hire her? What? What? Stop doing the thing. Stop doing it. And if all that wasn't bad enough, the community on the internet is insufferable these days. It just got worse and worse since the introduction of AEW. It's tribalistic as fucking hell. Nobody's listening to each other. Nobody's talking to each other. They're just tearing each other down. There's no dialogue. There's no discourse. It's absolute sludge out there on the internet. It's pathetic. All these channels that used to be bustling in the 2010s and into the 2020s are now dwindling because of it, okay? If you say something nice about the WWE, then you're just a Fed drone or whatever. If you say something nice about AEW, you're just a Tony Khan bootlicker. You can't just appreciate wrestling. You can't just talk about it. It's always going to be taken in the opposite way. It sucks. It fucking sucks, dude. And that's why a big part of me needs to step away from all of wrestling completely, but I can't do that because of how much I love it, dude. I'm not gonna say goodbye to pro wrestling. It's in my blood. It's in the air that I breathe. It's in the food that I eat. I can't not watch wrestling in some capacity. So, I'm probably gonna watch the big AEW events, and I may begrudgingly hate watch the big WWE events, but I try to stay a little bit tuned into what's going on. And if I'm being honest with you, I hate 99% of it. And here's just a little piece for the tribalistic freaks out there watching this. AEW is superior by a long shot, okay? The TV might not be so great week to week, okay? Collision might not give you a lot of value. They may not really tie their stories together very well from one program to the next. And if you miss a week, you might be like, what is happening? And why is Excalibur just yelling so many facts at me really quickly? Either way, that product that they deliver to you or that they deliver to me is a million times better than the WWE, and it's not even close. The WWE is vile, evil scum, and I hate it. And that's why today it breaks my heart to officially make WWE an enemy of the channel. Look at this rogues gallery. I'm gonna fix it, but for now, this is what it looks like. Oof, a lot of scumbags. And a lot of debauchery went on between the walls of the WWE, and it's time to fucking sever that cord. God damn, what a heartbreaker. Is there anything they can do to salvage it? I don't know, dude. Maybe if a really good story happens, and something really compelling on television makes me want to tune in, maybe I might check it out. And I didn't even talk about half of the stuff that's pissing me off, but I've been recording for over a half hour now. I'm gonna chop some of this out and leave it at that for now. Good God. Hit like, press subscribe, yada, 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 yada. Yeah, it's really good, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.